Clowns Attack UK Southeast Cinema October 7.
Oh my god. The retribution is here. The retribution's here. Oh my. Every single time I ask myself the question, can these killer clowns get worse? And every single time I answer the question, it is yes, they can get worse. They are getting worse every single time, folks, because earlier today I got a report that apparently a cinema was under attack over there in the United Kingdom by these killer clowns. The cinema was under siege and the killer clowns invaded the movie theater while everything was under operation. Of course, it was breaking news, and folks, now we understand that we got a chance to talk to a victim who was inside the complex. Somebody by the name of Oliver gave us some insight of what happened. I'll tell you, folks, it really is getting serious now. So after the event went down, ladies and gentlemen, we went on social media to see exactly who was talking about this event, and we noticed that a lot of people are flooding the social media platforms with the experiences that they just experienced with this purge that happened in the movie theater. We randomly DM'd somebody by the name of Oliver, and we asked, "Hello, I saw how you were in the movie theater when this happened. Is it fine if I can ask you a few questions?" He replied back by saying, "Sure thing, I'm okay with that." We started off the interview with this question. "Okay, so what exactly did you see? Please explain the full story." He responded back by saying, "So I was with my friends at the cinema watching a movie. All of a sudden we see a lot of people running towards the doors and we wondered what happened. We went out and saw these men in clown costumes wearing clown masks. They were throwing rocks and other stuff that I couldn't see. Security rushed in and told us to exit, and we did. We stayed outside for about 20 minutes and there were crowds waiting outside. So me and my friend wanted to go back in, and we did. And we went back in and saw in the distance these clowns with knives running around and screaming at other people in there. Security was yelling for them to exit the vicinity, and the cops were called. One clown was running towards us, and we sprinted out as fast as we could." We then responded by saying, "That must have been a traumatic experience. How are you feeling at that moment?" He replied back saying, "I was petrified. I was bloody scared for my life. I seriously thought something drastic was going to happen, maybe some explosion or whatever. But it was a grand scare, and I gotta say, they succeeded in that. I am scared as heck, mate. I don't know, I hear about these killer clowns are rising in the area, and they mean business." We then asked, "As you said, you noticed how the killer clowns are rising up again this year. What did you think beforehand, and what did you think of them now after this event?" He replied back by saying, "That's a good question. Because before, I didn't think they really meant it. I honestly would sit and laugh at their stupidity. I used to think it was all a hoax. But after what happened now, I'm starting to get creeped out, man. I mean, they were trying to take over a cinema. I honestly think the media should take them seriously after with what happened." We then asked, "Do you think something like this will ever happen again?" He said, quote, "Oh God, man, I hope not. I really hope not. It was a scary experience seeing them yell at everyone and running around throwing rocks and taking out their knives. Honestly, it's possible that something like this can happen again. I don't know, honestly. I'm more than certain police officers and guards are protecting the movie theater right now, but still, for all we know, they can do it at another mall or even another building. We don't know what's going to happen." We then asked, "Do you think society is doing enough to protect the population, and why?" He then said, "No, I don't think so, honestly. There's no way we are prepared. Everyone keeps thinking that this clown scare is fake, which makes everyone out on edge. This gives the clowns leverage, and they can go out and do whatever they want because mostly everyone thinks it's fake. That's the thing that bugs me, how people are thinking it's fake. I used to think it was fake, like I said, but after that attack, I now know firsthand that it's true and real. Honestly, things need to change." We asked him, "What changes do you think there should be?" He replied back, "First off, there needs to be more security guards in place. I rarely saw any in the mall, and by the time the police come, it would have already been too late. I think security guards is needed more. Also, I think people need to group up more honestly. I know the initial reaction is that people should run and exit the building, but it shouldn't be that way. If we all were to group up and overtake these clowns, then we would win. But like I said, mostly everyone runs to the exit, which makes sense. But it also makes sense to all group up and take them down. There were like 6 clowns I saw, and hundreds of us. We may have been scared, but if we surpass that fear and go after them, there's no way 6 clowns would overtake the hundreds that were in the cinema. And he does make a good point, but nonetheless, we did ask, what will you do if this ever happens again? He replied back by saying, honestly, I don't know, man. Blank, I really don't know. I think if I experience something like this again, then I would just want to go virtual with things, not really go out and stay indoors until things calm down. It's scary to live like that, but still, what are we supposed to do? It's messed up that these clowns are ruining the way we want to live our lives, and it's getting to the point where it's just getting stupid. They need to just stop. We proceeded to ask, what do you think the intentions and motives of these killer clowns are? He said, honestly, man, I think it's them wanting to scare everyone and wanting to leave a mark. That's what they want to do. They want to make everyone scared and have it where there are major lockdowns. I honestly don't know why they insist in living like that. They gotta stop, and honestly, they need to get some mental help. They need professional help, and these guys are thinking it's a joke when it's obviously not. I don't know if this is because they feel hurt inside or what, but still, it's really messed up. We replied back by saying, would you ever be willing to talk to a killer clown? And if so, what would you say? He responded back by saying, I would, surprisingly. I would. If it means fixing all this, I would. I would love to tell them that it's okay to feel hurt in life, but it's not okay to go out and attack the other people out there. I would tell them that we must always love and care for each other instead of choosing violence. What good will that do? Choosing violence will honestly make it worse when we can accept each other and support each other. That will bring more joy instead of hate. We then said, it's a very nice message. Hopefully it can get to that point. My final question is, if there's one final message you would want to tell the public, what would it be? And for the final time, he responded, I will tell them to be on the lookout. Who knows, maybe nothing major will happen in the end, I don't know. But I do know these clowns are willing to invade malls and scare us in it. Just please be careful and stay in groups. Never go out in the nighttime alone. It's very bad how this world is now. So just make sure to be nicer to each other and always have each other's backs. That's what I would want everyone to understand. Well, a very loaded interview, folks, from Oliver here, who gave us insight, who was experiencing what was going on inside that cinema, folks, after the killer clowns went in there and invaded the entire complex. We understand that security guards were able to evacuate every single person out there, and there was no, there was nobody injured. There were no casualties, thank goodness. It was just basically a grand scare, but I mean, at what point, at what cost will it actually get to? I mean, folks, we're talking about just a couple of weeks away, a purge, a killer clown purge that these killer clowns are insisting or wanting to do on that night. And I gotta tell you, it really is getting crazier by the second. Every single time we do some research, it gets worse. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta watch out. And again, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna sound cliche, but it's true. You gotta make sure that you have the eyes on the back of your head. You gotta stay in groups because we have no idea what's gonna be happening here over the next few weeks. We have no idea. For all we know, it could be a grand hoax. However, what if this is actually true? What if on October 31st there will be a killer clown purge? What if some sicko along with the other maniacs out there are going to rise up in groups, be armed, and go out in the streets and start yelling at people, throwing things at them, perhaps harassing them and doing a lot of different stuff out there? These killer clowns are meaning business. Every single time we got a chance to talk to them on Instagram or video call them or at least a phone interview, they always have some sort of direct message, and the message is they want society to understand how they were feeling like for the past couple of decades, how all the killer clowns out there were feeling rejected, and now it's time for them to rise up to deliver the same thing how they were feeling to society. Well, folks, I have no idea what's going to happen here, and I got to tell you, I have no idea what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. If we have any inkling, I'll tell you one thing, we got to make sure that we are safe and it's better to be safe than sorry. Well, anybody watching this video, ladies and gentlemen, just always be on the lookout. You got to make sure that if you're going to be going out with friends, to always be in groups. We understand that Halloween is just a couple of weeks away, and I know Halloween is a day for everyone to celebrate the festivities and all the celebrations, for people to group up and trick-or-treat with their friends and family, to have a great time. But these killer clowns, though, are looking to overturn that and actually deliver a huge scare. Will October 31st be the day that things change? Will it be the day that these killer clowns indeed rise up and deliver this purge that they were wanted to do since 2016? It seems that these killer clowns are actually getting bigger by the year. Who's to say perhaps if it doesn't happen this year, what happens if it's going to be happening next year? You got to be on the lookout, folks. Nonetheless, though, again, we thank you for watching the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and always be on the lookout. We'll see you next time.